Hey everybody, welcome to Club and Country. Russ Thaler, Calen Carr here with you. We're watching the Olympics like a lot of people out there, but with men's soccer, it's like there's two stories going on, right? Nigeria took forever to get to Brazil, and now they're just beating everybody. And Brazil looks like, well, Brazil, and that's nothing like what Brazil wants to look like. As far as the U.S. men, of course, they're not there. How big of a deal is it, considering how big of a deal Olympic soccer is?
Wait, can we talk about the women though? Mallory Pugh.
We're all watching the women.
She's like my favorite player.
The best.
I actually have to give it up. Morgan Bryan is my favorite player on the team. Alex Morgan as well, Cal Bear. But it is a little bit sad not to see the U.S. men involved. Now you understand, obviously the tournament format is very different. Under 23s for the men, so more of an amateur tournament than for the women's side. But there's still guys I would have loved to see. A missed opportunity. Kellen Acosta, Jordan Morris.
What are they missing out on?
Well, it's a chance to play for your country in the Olympics, first of all. So personally, that's got to be a huge source of pride. And then as well, it's a chance to be in an international format, a tournament format, under pressure, before you get to the big ones like the Copa America or the World Cup.
All right, and what would happen if a guy like, say, Kellen Acosta was playing for the U.S. in the Olympics? How big of a deal would it be if he were to have like a great Olympic Games? Like, what would that actually do, which would tell us really what he's possibly missing out on?
Well, it just accelerates partially your development, but then also just the perception of you in the eyes of, say, a Jurgen Klinsmann. Because if he sees you go, say, a deep run into the tournament, he has an excellent run, maybe he throws him into a World Cup qualifier instead of making him wait until the January camp for those friendlies. And that just pushes him a little bit step further. Now, he just misses out on that opportunity. Now, the other good part is that he played in the All-Star game. Yes, I know it's just an All-Star game, but he got 60 minutes in that. I think when you're a young player, you need to take every opportunity you can in a big stage to develop and show. And these guys now are playing week in, week out, and doing really well for their MLS clubs.
Well, not only that, you got a guy like Jordan Morris who seems to be figuring it out now, which is get the ball to Clint Dempsey at all costs. But he is playing week in and week out. He's not away from his club team, playing in an international tournament. So could it actually be helping Jordan Morris that he's not on an Olympic team right now at this moment?
I think to be able to play international soccer, you have to be able to adjust to different formats and circumstances. Guys are always going to their national team, back to their clubs, but it is nice for him to get in a rhythm with his club team, have the full season, starting every week, as we've said, playing with guys who are international quality, of course, Clint Dempsey being, the star of our team for a long time. And you can see it starting to pay dividends for him in particular.
I know, and a guy like Walker Zimmerman, who we've talked about on this before as maybe an up-and-coming guy, but
not everybody knows him.
Well, that's what he's missing out on.
Exactly, and a lot of, for the casual fans who tune into the Olympics, and like all of us, we watch because we want to see our country represented. It's a chance to get to know some of the younger players in MLS that are going to become stars in the near future, and that's a big opportunity to miss for them.
Yeah, and it's those stories that you mentioned to Mallory Pugh. Well, she's getting introduced to the greater U.S. audience by the way that NBC packages the Olympic Games. Well, a guy like Walker Zimmerman doesn't have his story told, or a guy like Will Trapp doesn't have a chance.
That's why we have MLSsoccer.com, though, Russ.
That's right, because if you can get on the movement,
that's right.
You become a big deal.
Russ, you're in, dude.
I'm in. Hey, love to know what you think about the U.S. not playing in these Olympic Games. Are you watching the men's soccer or just the women? And how big of a deal is it that we don't have a team playing in it right now? Leave those thoughts in the comments section below. Check out the movement here on MLSsoccer.com and keep checking back here for Club and Country, too.